The president today lashed out at his own U.S. court system and the Justice Department just 2 days after the latest deadly terror attack in London. He tweeted, "People, the lawyers, and the courts can call it whatever they want, but I'm calling it what we need and what it is, a travel ban." The Justice Department should have stayed with the original travel ban, not the watered-down, politically correct version they submitted to the Supreme Court. The Justice Department should ask for an expedited hearing of the watered-down travel ban before the Supreme Court and seek a much tougher version. In any event, we are extreme vetting people coming into the United States in order to keep our country safe. The courts are slow and political, he says. Of course, he signed this order that he now calls watered down. He signed it. It's an executive order. Federal courts have blocked the president's revised travel ban and the original version, which he signed just days after the inauguration. They blocked it in part because they thought of it as a Muslim ban. The Trump administration last week filed an emergency request with the Supreme Court asking it to immediately reinstate the revised ban. The administration also asked the Supreme Court to take up the travel ban in the fall. Under this revised plan, the one the president calls the watered-down version, the government would ban refugees from all countries from entering the United States for 4 months and block visitors from 6 Muslim-majority countries for 90 days. Lawyers challenging the president's travel order say it discriminates against Muslims, and so far most courts have absolutely agreed. Candidate Trump repeatedly called for a Muslim ban during the campaign, but now the administration's lawyers have tried to say that the courts should ignore those comments and just look at the executive order itself. Some analysts say the term travel ban also raises potential legal problems. Several federal judges have cited President Trump's use of just that phrase, the one he used again today, in their decisions to block the president's executive order. And the White House has repeatedly said the order is not a travel ban. Today, the president said it is a travel ban. And in fact, today the president tweeted the measure is a travel ban. Some of the analysts say the president's tweets today may have undermined his own legal defense. The husband of President Trump's counselor, Kellyanne Conway, criticized the president's comments today. George Conway posted, "These tweets may make some people feel better, but they certainly won't help the office of the Solicitor General get 5 votes in the Supreme Court, which is what actually matters." Sad. Channeling the president's word there. George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband, just last week withdrew from consideration to be President Trump's nominee to run the Justice Department's Civil Division. Back to John Roberts at the White House for us. John, what is the White House saying about the president's tweets on the travel ban?
Well, they're standing absolutely with him, saying that he can say whatever he wants about the travel ban and he can call it whatever he wants. You might remember that back in January, Sean Spicer at one of the daily briefings said it's not a travel ban. It's a method of vetting people before they come into this country. But now the White House is saying the president says it's a travel ban. It's a travel ban. Something else to unpack there in that series of tweets when he said that they should take the watered-down version to the Supreme Court and seek a tougher version. That suggests that maybe there's a third version of this travel ban that's in the offing. We asked Sarah Huckabee Sanders about that. She said she didn't know anything about it, but it certainly does leave the door open for that. The other thing the White House is not seemingly concerned about at all is the potential legal impact that this could have at the case at the Supreme Court. You showed what George Conway tweeted there, and we'll get some further tweets from him in just a minute, but there's no concern that it might make the court case before the Supreme Court any more difficult. Listen to this exchange that I had with Sarah Huckabee Sanders earlier today. On the president's tweets regarding the travel ban, Kellyanne Conway's husband pointed out that such tweets are not helpful when it comes to the Solicitor General's ability to make an argument, an effective argument before the Supreme Court. Is the president concerned that he may be tainting the waters of the legal system by issuing such tweets?
Not at all. The president is very focused on exactly what that order spells out, and that's protecting Americans, protecting national security, and he has every constitutional authority to do that through that executive order, and he maintains that, and that position hasn't changed in the slightest.
However, George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband, is still concerned about the potential legal impact in a series of tweets just a few minutes ago, tweeting out, quote, "Just to be clear, and in response to inquiries, I still very, very strongly support POTUS his administration, policies, the executive order, and, of course, my wonderful wife, Kellyanne Conway, which is why I said what I said this morning. Every sensible lawyer in the White House counsel's office and every political appointee at the Department of Justice would agree with me, as some have already told me. The point cannot be stressed enough that tweets on legal matters seriously undermine the administration agenda. And President of the United States, that'd be Donald Trump, and those who support him, as I do, need to reinforce that point and not be shy about it. So, Shep, he's further explaining himself here, but certainly not backing off on that tweet